Now, Attack of the Show has had some tough guests before. Tom Green once kicked a light bulb for crying out loud. But Dominique Vandenberg is on a whole other level. He's a former paratrooper and Bloodsport champ turned Hollywood fight choreographer and star of the just-released DVD Pit Fighter. Welcome to the show, Dominique.
Thank you, Chris.
Great. Now, I just want to clarify one thing. Pit Fighter has nothing to do with the Pit Fighter video game at all.
No, not at all.
Great. Well, it's actually not an exaggeration. You could pretty much kill me right now. I mean, you know those kind of moves.
Anyone can. It's easy to kill someone.
When you say anyone can, you're saying that about me. Thank you very much. But no, like, tell us about the Pit Fighter movie.
The movie, it's the character Jack is a man who had a very, very violent past. He used to be a hitman, but on one of his jobs, he goes to South America, Mexico. He gets shot in the head and left for dead. He doesn't remember anything about his past because of the amnesia factor, and then he fights in these underground fights just to make money, and little by little fragments of his past come back, and he remembers who he really was. He was a cold-blooded killer for the mafia.
Now, you acted in this movie, but there was no acting involved on your part. This is something that you've actually lived. I mean, tell us about that.
Well, to a certain degree. Obviously, I wasn't a hitman or
yeah,
anything like
the
that.
hitman part, set that aside, but the actual fighting, I mean, you engaged in.
I did compete in Thailand, in northern Thailand, in Thai kickboxing. I did compete in Burma, in Bando and freestyle fighting, yes.
Now, tell us, you've got a book out now, The Iron Circle. Tell us about that.
It's based on the story of my life. Of course, little things are tweaked and time settings are a little bit different and names are changed too. But it's based on my time in the French Foreign Legion and me studying martial arts and fighting in Thailand.
Now, that's something that's fascinating to me. The only thing I know about the French Foreign Legion is from that Abbott and Costello movie from the 40s where they wear those hats with the... okay, dumb. But the French Foreign Legion is an attack force that a lot of people don't know about. They're a very mysterious organization. What can you actually tell me about them?
Well, it still exists. The Foreign Legion still exists. Today, it's a modern fighting force. They don't run around, and they still run around in the desert, but they don't wear the funny white caps with the white things in their neck. But no, it's people call them mercenaries, but it's really a tradition, and it's more than, it's like being a modern day samurai almost. You know, it's men from all over the world, and this one little fighting force that fights and has conflicts all over the world. But they still call it the French Foreign Legion, but a lot of other countries use the French Foreign Legion with deals they make with the French government.
You actually fought in Thailand. I mean, tell me, what were those experiences like?
Well, after I finished my 5 years in the French Foreign Legion, I worked as an independent soldier for a little while, and after a certain amount of time, I just was tired of seeing carnage and dead people all the time. So to kind of got my head together, when I was in Burma on one of the independent soldiering jobs, in between jobs, I started fighting in a fighting style called Bando.
You were also in Mortal Kombat.
Yes, I was. That was my first job, actually, when I came to the United States in the movie business.
And you've gone up against people that are much larger than you. How much of fighting is a balance between mental and physical? I mean, if you're going up to someone that's twice your size, I mean, a lot of it, you're gonna have to mentally put yourself in a place where you can take that person down. Is that right?
It's not just mentally, it's the conditioning factor too. Conditioning, I would say, is more than half of who's going to win the fight or not. Size matters when both people are equally skilled and when they have equal conditioning and heart and head, obviously, too.
So, and I'm sure you have to do that conditioning your entire life, which means I'm pretty much out of it. Okay.
It's never too late, to be honest with you.
Great. Dominique, thanks so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, now, you've arranged a little martial arts demonstration for us, but first, we're going to take a little break so I can make peace with my God.